Are you ready to embark on a journey of exploration and unlock the magic of your wonder? There is so much more in the universe than we have been shown. It is time to ask those questions, dissolve those barriers, and embrace your extraordinary life. Here is your fellow explorer in the realm of curiosity and discovery, with almost 20 years of inviting people to embrace the greatness of them, Donnielle Carter.
Welcome, everybody. And what if your future isn't something that happens to you one day, but something you are quietly creating every single day? You don't wake up one day as a completely different life. And if you do, let me know, because that would be fascinating. And especially if it's just like an alternate version of your life, if we're in that multi-world thing, let me know. I'd love to talk to you. But we don't wake up a completely different life. We grow into one choice, one thought, one shift at a time. And that's what we're exploring today on the Exploration of Wonder, is how we stop waiting for who to become and then start becoming it right now. Not in the future, but also that includes the future. So I am Donnielle Carter, nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and this is the Exploration of Wonder. For nearly 20 years, I have worked with thousands of people exploring how their bodies, beliefs, and energies shape their lives. And today we're exploring something that sounds inspiring. There's the word, inspiring, but really is frustrating because it doesn't work most of the time. Creating your future. Anyone here ever said to themselves one time, today I create my future. My future is going to come, is coming. I know it is. Soon. Problem with futures, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big futurist. I love to see into the future. I love to create it, contribute to it, help others get to theirs. But the problem with future is it's always in front of us. When does the future become now? I know that's a big philosophical conversation, and I'm down for it, but not in these 30 minutes because we got other stuff to talk about. So you've probably heard this quote that's been attributed to Abraham Lincoln. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Sounds empowering, and it is, and it's true. Okay, great. Thanks, Abraham Lincoln. Thanks, Donnielle Carter. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Great, thank you. How do I do that? Good question, because that's really what we're talking about today. Okay, because if it was really that simple as just having an inspirational quote on the wall, which we all have them, I do too, I have stickies everywhere, we would be creating the life. We would be living that life already that we were wanting. Okay, so what does creating your future or predicting your future is like? That's what happens when everything tries to come out at the same time. So what does predicting your future by creating it really look like? Okay. And I touched on it a little bit. Most people think of their future as something out there. It's in the future, but no, right? But it's always ahead of us. If life was linear, it's always in front of us somewhere that eventually we'll get to, right? Something will happen when things line up, when they're ready, when you've done enough. Again, it's all that linear thinking. But our future is not built in the later. Because if you notice, let me say those things again. Something will happen when things line up. That's a future thing, right? When they're ready. Well, I'll be ready in the future. Or when I've done enough. Well, I will know in the future when I've done enough, and then I can create my future. All of those are that linear thing. And it continually puts everything in front of us instead of being present in the right now. Because I will tell you one thing that, spoiler alert, is probably one of the keys of the whole episode, is your future is built in the smallest, most ordinary moments of right now. Okay. It depends on the actions we take today. it, the actions we take today determine what actions are available tomorrow, and it actually determines our tomorrows, okay? It determines the way we think, the way we respond, the patterns we repeat or let go of, okay? That's what creates our future. Not big dramatic change, but a consistency of being. And, I'm all for those big dramatic change moments too, because besides being an empowerment coach, I'm also a writer. I love those high drama moments or those montages of big everything changes, and then it's like, Bridget Jones's Diary, that one moment right there, everything changed. I'm all for that. It doesn't really happen a lot in life, which that would be cool, but it doesn't. Okay. So, what does being present, taking the choices today look like to create your tomorrow? Okay. So we can stop waiting and start becoming. Well, a lot of people have heard the seed metaphor, right? And I'm going to go right into it because I've been doing so much garden work because it's spring at time of recording. So let's look at the imagery of this, shall we? Think about planting a seed, which I did with sunflowers. It's so pretty. Think about planting a seed. You don't plant it and then the next day dig it up to see if it's working, even if I really wanted to. Because I planted these new sunflowers where they're either purple or blue. I'm so excited to see what they show up, right? So I planted the seed in the ground, and then the next day I watered it and just looked at it. And part of me really wanted to dig it up, but I'm like, no, don't do it. Let it stay there. Let it take root. Let it do what it needs to do. And, and it's so funny because, like, I hear people say, oh, you don't yell at it and say, grow faster. I actually did. As a matter of fact, there's a whole slew of like signs and stuff that says grow faster. So, well, some people might not say grow faster, but I kind of do. Okay. But the main thing is we don't dig it up, no matter how much we want to. And you don't abandon it because nothing changed overnight. Okay. What do you do? What did I do with these seeds? I planted it, I watered it, I nurtured it, I talked to it, and other things than just saying grow faster. Damn it, might have even put the word damn it in there. But I gave it space. But really, one of the main things I did that we need to do in our lives is trust the process. Trust in us, trust in the universe, and trust in those little seeds, whether it's an actual plant or an idea, a concept, a change in yourself that you're growing. Because here's the thing, just like that seed of my sunflower, for a while, nothing visible happens because it's all underground, right? It's beneath the surface. But underneath that layer of dirt or that crap we call our lives, everything is changing. Okay? The seed is being ignited, right? It has that first chemical reaction. I'm talking about the plant, but also in our lives is that first chemical reaction where it's like, oh, I'm getting what I need to grow. I'm in dirt. I'm in sun. I get water. This dirt has nutrients that is feeding me. Look at all these elements that you've added in, right? These are not like the seed in the dirt. It wasn't coincidence. I put it there. I nurtured it in good soil. I put it in a good spot and I watered it. So just like I'm doing with the seed, you are doing this with your life. Every single moment you make those choices, you're like, okay, I'm going to be here, do this, make this choice, get up, do this, don't do that, talk to this person, create this project, don't create this project, or don't talk to that person. It's these choices that are putting yourself into that place to become that person. And let me say, you only know you can become that person because somewhere you already are it. You can't desire to be something unless you know it's possible for you. I mean, I know the smart Alex, are going to be out there like, oh, you're a short white woman. Were you going to show up 6 foot tall black man? Maybe. I don't know. But this is not the changes, smart Alex, that we're talking about, right? But it's those times of like, I'd like to not self sabotage anymore. I would like to be healthier mindset. I would like to just be happier with who I am and my circumstances. I would, besides just all creating things, it's like, so it's those choices that we make every day in this planting the seed that's like, we may not see the surface pop through yet, but you are nurturing it. You're getting yourself in the right place, the right choice, the right environment, the nutrients, whether it's people, places, things, to build up from that things that are happening below the surface, that right before the explosion of like, look, there's something little green down there. And when you first see that, it is the most exciting thing in the world. And honestly, my friends, if you have never grown something from a seed, I highly recommend it, just so you can even like really fathom the metaphor, because there's such a level of trust in the universe and the process and in yourself and your abilities, that when you put a seed in dirt and then you just walk away and looking at it like, please grow. All right, do your thing. Then you water it the next day and you're like, hope something's going on down there, and you resist the urge to dig it up because you know that'll just stop the process. It really shows you how much you haven't acknowledged yourself of everything that's going on beneath the surface that you're already becoming. You may not have the visible signs of it, but you're already becoming it. Okay? Otherwise, you couldn't even plant it or water it or grow it or figure it. Okay? So what I'm saying is like, this is why people don't see change. Because they're willing to plant the seed, like I was, but they're not willing to become the person who nurtures it. Because if you notice, as I was saying this, so I planted the seed, and then the next day I watered it, and then the next day I watered it, and I talked to it. I didn't just plant the seed, put it in the sun, and go, good luck! Hope it rains on you. No. I actually watered it the next day. See if the next day needed more. And, because it was early spring, there were some days I didn't need to water, so not watering it was what was required. So it was being in the question of that, what is it requiring today? Okay? So you need to be willing to be the person also who nurtures yourself, because so many people want new results without new awareness. Sorry. And some of those awarenesses are going to be uncomfortable. They might even suck. Right? It's like, oh, this person isn't who I thought they were. Oh, this environment isn't what I thought it was. Oh, wait a minute. I'm more than I thought I was. And yes, I put that on there because a lot of people don't even want to see that. They're really like, don't want to see how amazing they are. If you ever want to see how amazing you are, come do a session with me, because I'm all about encouraging you to like see how beautiful and amazing and phenomenal you are. All right. But some people also want new outcomes without new patterns. Oh, I don't know about you, but when I first wrote that, I'm like, oh, that one hits hard for me too. It's like, how many of us are like, I want something new, but then never change what we're doing, right? We never have those new patterns, those new motivators, those new disciplines, those new things that go like, oh, okay, so yeah, here we go. I guess I'll change this. Oh yeah, I wanna be this new person who doesn't talk back all the time. Well, then you need to learn to keep your mouth shut, right? Okay, because new results without new awareness and new outcomes without new patterns, it doesn't work. Sorry, it doesn't work. Because what you do every day will create your life. Will create you over and over and over again. And side note, we're going to go to break here soon. But side note, just FYI, I planted 3 sunflower seeds, and they're all growing. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna have to get a picture to you guys if you want. And I can't wait to see a blue or purple sunflower. How amazing that's going to be. but one of them is like an inch and a half tall, and the other one's already like 4 inches tall. It's the most amazing thing, and it's so inspiring to like finally see that peeking out of the dirt. And just like us, it's, all that stuff goes on underneath, and then you see that first little green, that first little leaf starting to poke up, that first little stalk. And then it's just the change is so rapid after that. It's like, I swear, if I just watch you grow, or watch you sit here and watch you, I could see you grow. I could see you grow bigger. We're the same. When you do the work that you're becoming underneath the surface, once it reaches the surface, it's like, this wasn't so hard, because part of that struggle from the seed out, like a butterfly metaphor, right? It strengthens us. Excuse me. So, yeah, once it breaks we wait for that moment to break the surface, but you have to be able to have the patience for us to do that internal work to get to the external work, and then everything just exponentializes. It's fun. All right, enough of the gardening for the moment. We're going to go on our break. And please do start looking at this of like, where have you claimed you want a change, but then not be willing to see a pattern? And then not willing to change the pattern, okay? And as I always say, this is not about judgment. This is not about wrongness. This is just about helping you to see where you're functioning from so you can choose something different, okay? No judgment, just awareness. And if you ever need help with that, no judgment, just awareness, please do consider doing a session with me. You can always have a 15 minutes, I think I called it coffee chat with Donnielle. First 15 minutes to see if we work together works. Go to my website, donnielle.com, and check it out. And while you're roaming around the internet, if you happen to go to iTunes or your favorite podcast platform and are enjoying the show, please do consider looking for the Exploration of Wonder and giving me a review, a star rating, 5 would be amazing, and leave a comment, please, because this just tells the algorithms that this information's awesome. More people need to listen to it. So I have a lot of people that are like, I'm so grateful for you. What can I do for you? This, let's control the algorithm instead of the algorithm controlling us. All right, my friends, you are listening to and watching the Exploration of Wonder with me, your host and fellow explorer, Donnielle Carter. We're on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
Ever feel like there's more to life than meets the eye? A sense of wonder just beyond your grasp? Are you ready to create a life that inspires you so much that each day you are excited to wake up and live it? Join Donnielle Carter, a nationally board-certified health and wellness coach, weekly as she explores the universe on the Exploration of Wonder. Explore everything from harnessing the power of your mindset to connecting with your intuition and harnessing the energetic forces around us. With a blend of humor, warmth, directness, and a dash of cheekiness, Donnielle shares easy-to-use, pragmatic, yet magical techniques you can implement immediately to infuse your life with wonder. Join us as we navigate the fascinating landscapes of the seen and unseen, and together create lives filled with joy, purpose, and boundless possibility.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Exploration of Wonder with your guide, Donnielle. To participate in this program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to hello@donnielle.com. Now back to the exploration.
Welcome back, my friends. And just as the leading intro said, if you ever want to tell me anything, please drop me a line at hello@donnielle.com. And if you want to suggest a topic for a show, please do let me know. So many of these topics are things that other people have asked me about. So what are you curious about? What are you wondering about? Let's explore that together. As we are, you get hello@donnielle.com. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, so as we are exploring today is stop waiting, start becoming. How do you do that, right? So we've been heavy into the plant analogy because I planted sunflowers and it's a gorgeous thing, right? So, and I talked a little bit about, like, we do a lot of the inner below the surface, just like a seed, right? You put in dirt, give it the nutrients, sun, water, and then it does its thing. As do we, right? And while it's a natural process, it doesn't always mean it's an easy process, okay? It's not always ease. You know, there's whole studies on if the caterpillar knows it's going to be in pain, or if it hurts to turn into a butterfly, and, you know, whole philosophical thing. But it's like, it's not always ease. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. One is not more valuable than the other. But if it's not ease, please don't let yourself think that you're being derailed, that it's not going where it could, okay? Because that's the pressure, that's the persistence, that's change happening without resistance, okay? Growth is not always comfortable. And some of the reasons it's not uncomfortable is because it requires letting go of things that we're so attached to, like letting go of what's familiar. Even if we hate it, at least we know it, right? We have to let go of identities. Who we think we are, who we have identified ourselves with, who have we defined ourselves as. And then really stepping into something undefined. Been there, my friends. Some days we do that. It's like, I don't know the next step and it's so uncomfortable. I'm just going to stay here, right? So many of us avoid that moment because it feels like uncertainty when it's just unknown. There is a big difference in uncertainty and unknown. Unknown is just like, all right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Uncertainty is doubt. I doubt myself, right? Big difference between uncertainty and unknown. And let me really quickly, and then I have some tips because I always have tips. Inner work, that beneath the top soil levels work, it isn't just thinking positive, okay? I mean, yeah, be positive, but not thinking positive. And I can't remember if I've done a whole affirmations thing, but I do have a crafting affirmations that work on my website, donnielle.com, check it out. And, but repeating affirmations that don't work actually stop you. I do not have time to get into all of that, but it's big. Repeating affirmations that don't work, they actually stop your progress, okay? And this isn't inner work, and inner work isn't forcing mindset shifts, tips, things that you're not ready. Mindset shifting tips. I can't say that on my YouTube videos either. It's hilarious. I laugh most of the time. Inner work is things without judgment, but it's things like noticing where you hold yourself back. Not from judgment, from awareness. Why am I holding myself back here? What's actually going on? Noticing what you believe is true. Your definitions of self, things like that. And what you keep choosing over and over again. What are your patterns? Not from judgment, just from awareness. And it's asking a simple question like, truth, is this creating the future I say I want? If it isn't, do something else. Okay, how do I do something else? Thanks for asking. Here are some quick Practical things for shifting that energy, for choosing something different, right? I love my tips. Number one, notice the pattern. I've said this quite a few times, but really, notice the pattern and without judgment. Judgment just solidifies it. Curiosity goes, oh, I'm doing this. Okay, what else? What else could I be doing? Instead of trying to force the change or change everything, you ask, what do I keep repeating? I facilitate and coach so many people, whether it's with weight loss, mindset, changing some inner work. And oftentimes I'll be like, okay, so take the next week in between our 2 sessions and without changing anything, just notice the patterns. What do you keep repeating? What do you keep saying to yourself? This is valuable information, not for judgment, but for just like, oh, that's where I'm functioning. Oh, and then once they notice those patterns, the change is easier. That future that you're becoming comes closer because you don't have to fight through those patterns. You're like, oh, I noticed the patterns. Okay, no, I don't want that one anymore. Next. All right. And then the next tip is interrupt the familiar. When you catch it, pause. Not fix it, not judge it, just pause. What do I mean by interrupt the familiar? How often do you just default to things, whether it's something you eat, whether it's somebody you talk to, play with, go to, create as, or talk to yourself? How many times do you go, oh, that's just who I am? No, that's just who you're familiar with. That's that identity. Again, pattern and what you're familiar with. Interrupt it. Just pause it. Go, oh, that's that. Oh, okay. And then ask a question. Then next, choose something slightly different. Okay. Again, we talked about everybody thinks it has to be those huge monumental moments where the heavens open and the angels sing. But our future is created today by every choice we make. I like to say there's no small steps or large steps. Every step is monumental. Okay. So instead of a big full overhaul, just one different thought, one different step, one different response, one different action. That is planting a new seed. Okay. And then the next one, stop demanding immediate results. That's like me planting that seed and then immediately taking it out going, oh, I can't believe you haven't grown yet. Or going the next day and go, I can't believe you haven't grown. What's wrong with you? Your shell's not even squishy. What if be kinder to yourself with this. Give you and the universe time to rearrange things, to bring in that future in, to do that internal work so that you're actually ready when the future comes. Because, oh my gosh, that's a great idea for a show of like being ready for the future when it gets here, right? Doing that inner work so that you can be ready for that future. And then one of my big ones that I always harp on a lot is acknowledgement the growth. Acknowledge the growth, okay? Acknowledge you. If we don't acknowledge ourselves as we keep growing, if we don't acknowledge the change, we'll think nothing's changed. So you have to acknowledge you as you go. Hey, I planted a seed yesterday. Awesome. Oh, it's not showing yet, but at least I kept watering that seed. You have to acknowledge the growth to build that foundation to keep going. Okay? Whew. So if you take anything from today, no, you are not waiting for your future. You are creating it right now by the actions, the choices, the quiet moments that no one sees, but you do. Okay, sometimes it just looks like noticing, pausing, and shifting the pattern, but you can do it. Okay? You don't have to force your way forward. You don't have to like dig yourself out. You just have to be willing to let it happen and then show up. All right. My next week's show, I'm so excited. It's tips on how to self-sabotage. Yes, I'm digging off one of my old sarcastic series of Everything is the Opposite and how to self-sabotage. I am actually going to give you steps and tips of how to self-sabotage. You don't want to miss it. It's a lot of fun. All right, my fans, have a fun, flowing, magical week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for exploring with us today. Donnielle returns Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Pacific. Until then, be curious, be wonder. and explore the magical universe around you.